Hey guys, this is the story of Don Fury Studio. Hope you like it. By the summer of 1989, the studio had been slamming with 8-track sessions for 2 years. And around that time, I figured it was time to make a step up and go to a 16-track format, because I knew bands were coming to make records now. And for the next year or year and a half, we had both the 8-track setup and the 16-track setup and cassette recording still going on all at the same time. In 1990, ABC No Rio started hosting matinees. ABC No Rio was an artist collective on Rivington Street on the Lower East Side, and they had a whole new class of hardcore bands coming in doing those matinees. Along with those bands, they had new labels as well, including Vermiform Records and War Dance Records, and later on Wreckage Records. So we did quite a bit of recording for this part of the scene. The ABC No Rio scene was more political in tone than the original hardcore scene and then the straight edge hardcore scene that followed it. Comps were pretty important to the hardcore scene, and we did a bunch of compilations during 1990 for the ABC No Rio scene. Murders Among Us on Vermiform Records, Forever on Irate Records, and Look at All the Children Now on Evacuate Records. So Bad Trip, SFA, Moondog, Go, YUPPICIDE, Citizen's Arrest, World Discrimination, Rorschach, Product 19, Mass, and maybe Nausea, Life's Blood, Absolution, and Turning Point were all in to record tracks for those compilations from the ABC No Rio scene. Of course, not everything we did in the studio was hardcore. That was just the scene that was making the most vinyl, so the scene that was getting the most notice. But we also did a couple of really cool records for Phil Gamage, a Texas blues rocker living in New York City. One under the band name Corvairs, and then one under his own name for the French label New Rose. We did an EP for Citizen's Arrest on War Dance Records, the label run by Freddie Alva, and also an LP for Citizen's Arrest, Colossus, on Vermiform Records, the label run by Sam McFeeters. SFA came in and did 2 LPs, one for DeMilo Records and one for Wreckage Records. We did a cool EP for YUPPICIDE, which came out on Evacuate Records and was eventually also released on Wreckage Records. Wreckage would eventually do many, many releases out of Don Fury Studio. In 1990, we did 2 EPs for Born Against for Vermiform Records. Sam McFeeters, the singer of Born Against, was a natural. I mean, I could just hand the mic to him, and 2 minutes later, the track was done. He would just rip it like he'd be on the floor of the studio, and you know, there were no second takes with Sam. We also did 2 EPs for Go, and Mike Bullshit was a little different than Sam. Mike had this issue about singing with the lights on, and he argued with me profusely that I had to turn out all the lights and he had to sing in the dark. And I argued profusely back that I couldn't see him, and I was going to need to see him if we were going to record him doing vocals for the records. But somehow we muddled through and got through it. In 1990, Revelation and Equal Vision were an important part of what was happening. And we did EPs for Shelter, Quicksand, Burn, Farside, and I mixed Inside Out, Zach De La Rocca's band, for Revelation. And we'll talk about all of those next.